So I think one of the hallmarks of Masterpiece, and what I think Rebecca is really brilliantly skilled at, is identifying talent, both in writing, producing, directing, and then the acting itself. As you probably all know, she's the daughter of an actress, and I think brings to everything that she screens an eye for really good, solid, meaningful performances, and actors and actresses who deliver not just in one shot but over years. So a Helen Mirren or a Judi Dench or Eileen Atkins or Jean Marsh, I mean, these are people of substance who just continue to deliver. One of the stories that Rebecca tells is, she likes to amusingly say that she passed on Downton Abbey in the first go-around. That we just didn't need it. We were working with upstairs, downstairs, and how many upstairs, downstairs type shows can you have? So it went around the circle, and nobody bought it. Not HBO, not NBC. Came back, and they said, "Well, we've just cast Maggie Smith," and that's the kind of thing that makes a decision. When you hear somebody like that Maggie Smith is cast, Rebecca calls back her own memory of having seen Bed Among the Lentils, and just, it was a defining piece. So that's the sort of alchemy that goes into making these decisions.
Yeah.
Wow. So I generally leave answers to those kinds of questions to Rebecca because she's more eloquent about describing what dramas do to certain people and how they connect. But listening to her and sort of cobbling together what I've heard her say is that there's something about Downton which is essentially it's a heartwarming story. It's a good story. She says that everybody, even Thomas and O'Brien, as mean-spirited as they are, they actually all want to do something that's good and right. And that's a very pervasive thing throughout the entire series. And you contrast that with a lot of these other hugely popular shows, The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad and Mad Men, there's a lot of malevolence in those shows. And I don't think Downton Abbey is necessarily all Mary Poppins and Disney. It has darkness and it has edges and dark corners, but at its heart, I think it's a good story. And the way Julian has written it is, in some ways, it's like the old-fashioned those Bachko stories where they get half a dozen different storylines going, and then his job is just to weave them all together in and out over the course of the episodes. Right, but on the other hand, nothing works better, it seems to me, or at least currently there just seems to be an increase in popularity of British drama. Now, we can do a lot of chicken and egg thinking about whether Downton created an interest in other British drama that's been there all along, and maybe Downton just sort of scratched the itch and said, well, wait a minute, maybe if PBS has that on, maybe Doc Martin is worth taking a look at, or maybe this Sherlock thing is worth taking a look at. I don't know. I think I leave that to you guys to figure out. But it does seem as though drama is working right now on PBS, whether it's the Masterpiece branded stuff or just the APT stuff, the stuff that PBS is buying and scheduling at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. 20-some years, I'm beginning to learn what to pay attention to. She looks at great scripts, great production teams, and great actors. To say it's also a very good deal. I think by and large, this is programming that is less expensive to license and get on the air than a lot of the documentary projects that come along. So it's an easy way to get a lot of people to pay attention.